you better have the best Trinities in your deck, ready for the final round. Cause this is Trinity YouTube, and you're here for a deck breakdown.
Let's welcome back Cyber and Dragon.
Hello Trinity YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of Deck Breakdown. As always, I'm your host Floppish, and if you ever like to learn more about Trinity Format or join an awesome community, I have left the links to both the website and the Discord in the description, so please check that out. Also, if you aren't already subscribed and you're watching this video, please do subscribe. According to YouTube statistics, 40% of the people that watched the Philanderies video were not subscribed, so if you subscribe, hit that like button, it would be very appreciated. Alright, enough shilling. The deck I brought to you today is Cyber Dragon ABC, a combination of two very strong light machine archetypes that both focus on bringing out extremely strong extra deck monsters like Chimera Rampage Dragon and ABC Dragon Buster. So I'm going to run you through the card by card here. First, we have our Cyber Dragons of Cyber Dragon Original, Cyber Dragon Dry, Valir, Core, Nashter, and Hers. Cyber Dragon, of course, summons itself if you control no monsters and your opponent controls a monster. Dray change as all Cyber Dragons to level 5. If your summons itself from the hand, we summon a Cyber Dragon. Core adds any cyber spell / trap. Nashter can summon back a machine with 2100 attack or defense in the graveyard. And Hers adds back any Cyber Dragon from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Very strong core here and allow you to go into many powerful Cyber Dragon extra deck monsters. Next, our ABC core of A, Assault Core, B, Buster Drake, and C, Crush Wyvern. B, Buster Drake allows you to add any union from your deck to your hand. A allows you to add back any union from your graveyard to your hand. And C allows you to special summon any union from your hand. Very strong core, and these will lead into one of your strongest boss monsters. Next, we have our Cyber Darks of Cyber Dark Claw and Chimera. Cyber Dark Claw can, of course, search out Cybernetic Horizon, and Cyber Dark Chimera can discard any spell / trap to add Power Bond, and then you can use Power Bond to banish front monsters from your graveyard, in addition to normally just being able to send monsters from hand or field to summon a machine monster from the extra deck. Next, we have Keeper of Dragon Magic. This is a strong card that searches out Overload Fusion. In particular, Overload Fusion is very, very good, so just having another copy of the deck is extremely strong. Electromagnetic Turtle is where you're going to be sending off of Chimera Rampage Dragon most of the time. This fades an entire battle step. When your opponent enters the battle phase, you can just banish it from your graveyard and end the battle phase. It's only once per duel, that's why we're only running the one copy. Next, we have our TGU package of Torgai of the Underworld, Sangan, and Skarm. Skarm, of course, is able to search out TGU, which is then able to summon out Sangan, which they can turn both of them into Union Carrier, and then get the Sangan searched, and then the Union Carrier equip. Next are hand traps of Ash Blossom, Ghost Ogre, Maxi, Effect Veiler, and Imperm. The format is at a pretty strong point right now, so you pretty much need to run all of these hand traps, and these also act as more targets for Crossout Designator. Next, the spells. Instant Fusion and Ready Fusion serve the same purpose of being able to summon out Cyber Source and sometimes Panzer Dragon in order to go into Cyber Dragon Affinity plays. We have Overload Fusion, which is probably our strongest fusion spell, allows you to fusion summon any Dark Machine fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials listed on it from your field or graveyard. Very strong for allowing you to go to things like Over Dragon with a bunch of materials, Cyber Twin Dragon, and Chimera Rampage Dragon to really just hit into your opponent and big bop. Otan Sanctuary at first doesn't seem like a great card, but this one card with only one summon out Union Carrier, which is extremely strong. Power Bond is a little bit sacky at times, but the fact that you can just make a big bungus and just kill them instantly is good enough to run this card, especially when it synergizes so well with Cyber Dark Chimera. Cyber Emergency adds any light machine that can't be normal summoned or any Cyber Dragon from monster from your deck to your hand. Very strong. Additionally, if it's negated, you can also add it back to your hand by discarding a card. So your opponent pretty much can't Ash Blossom this. Cybernetic Horizon is probably the biggest card with the longest text in this deck. You can send 2 Dragon or Machine Sires with different attributes from your graveyard, one from each your hand and deck, and then add a Dragon or Machine Sire monster from your deck to your hand, and then you can send a Machine Sire Fusion monster from your extra to the graveyard. This basically just converts any of your Cyber Dragons or Cyber Darks into a copy of Core. Next, we have Pot of Avarice. This is very strong for shuffling back used up monsters in the graveyard, things like ABC Dragon Buster, things like your pieces. Sometimes your dragons can get stuck into the grave, and then just being able to recycle them and draw 2. Foolish Burial can foolish cards like Core, which additionally has a graveyard effect where if you control no monsters. If you're the only person that controls no monsters and your opponent controls a monster, you can banish from the graveyard, summon a Cyber Dragon from the deck. And Hers, when it's sent to the graveyard, you can add a Cyber Dragon from your deck or your graveyard to your hand. So this is pretty much mandatory, especially since you can also send an ABC piece. Cyber player plan, as long as you have a Cyber Dragon in your graveyard, you can add a light machine monster from your deck to your hand, or shuffle a light machine monster from your graveyard back into the deck. Good for recursion, and good for just getting more pluses. Cosmic Cyclone and Twin Twisters are spell/trap removal of choice. These are especially the two best spell/trap removal cards in the game, so you want to be running it so you can get your core off, and you can get off to the races. Unauthorized Reactivation is essentially another copy of Union Hanger, as it allows you to equip a Machine Union monster to a Machine monster you control. So basically, if you just know something like B, you can activate this and equip like an A or a C, and then it gets you closer to ABC. Cover the Grave is important for stopping a lot of the hand traps, so it'll try to stop your core plays and your other plays. Cyberload Fusion is the cyber spell that you're going to be searching out for core a lot of the time, as it's the only archetypal fusion spell, and this allows you to shuffle back for Cyber Dragon monsters from your field, or face your banished cards, or just any cards for the summon of a machine monster in your extra deck. Very strong. Cross Designator is able to banish a lot of these generic staples we have in order to just negate your opponent's copies of those generic staples, like hand traps, spell/trap destruction. Pretty good. Set Rotation allows you to set both your Chicken Game to your opponent's side of the field and your Union Hanger to your side of the field, so it's another copy of Union Hanger. Cyber Dark Realm allows you to add both of your either your Cyber Dark monsters from your deck to your hand, Chimera if you want to do some OTK, or Claw if you want to search into Horizon. Union Hanger is basically the heart and soul of the ABC portion of our deck, as you can add a light machine, and then when you normal a light machine, you can target one of those monsters and equip a light machine from your deck to that monster, but that light machine cannot be special summoned. This gets you two pieces for ABC. Chicken Game is our target of choice to set off a set rotation. It's also just a +1. Next, for our traps, just generic ones, we have Bottomless Chapel and Didomitius. These are just good removal cards. Necrofusion allows you to banish monsters from your graveyard face down in order to fusion summon a fusion monster from your extra deck, but it cannot attack. The cannot attack part this turn does not matter, as you're going to be activating most of the time during your opponent's end phase. You can summon Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon and then pop their back row and then hidden during your turn. Cybernetic Overflow is what you can also search off of Cyber Dragon Core. Allows you to banish Cyber Dragons with different levels from your hand, face of field, and or graveyard, and destroy an equal number of cards your opponent controls. Additionally, if they try to, let's say, Twin Twister this, and it's destroyed by a card effect, you can just add any Cyber spell/trap from your deck to your hand. Something like Cyberload Fusion, which combos very well, as you can banish a bunch of guys, can't have this get destroyed, search Cyberload Fusion, and then activate Cyberload Fusion. Metaverse is another copy of Union Hanger. For our trinities of choice here, we have an extra copy of Cyber Dragon Core, as it's our best normal summon, an extra copy of Cyber Dragon Hers, as having 2 Hers in the graveyard allows Hers to infinitely loop itself, so this is very good for cards that like the discard. Another copy of Union Hanger, as it's the heart and soul of the ABC portion of the deck, and Terraforming to search out Union Hanger. For the extra deck, we have Chimera Tech Overdragon, which requires a Cyber Dragon and 1 or more machine monsters. Must be fusion summoned. When it's fusion summoned, you send all of the cards you control to the graveyard, but the most important part is that it gains original attack and defense equal to the number of fusion monsters used for its summon times 800, or fusion materials. And it can attack your opponent's monster a number of times each battle phase, up to the number of fusion materials used for its fusion summon. So later into the game, if your opponent has a bunch of monsters out in their field and you have a bunch of materials in your graveyard, you can go overload fusion, summon this, and just wipe them out. ABC is the payoff for running the ABC engine. Once per turn, quick effect, you can discard a card, target the card of the field, banish it, and during your opponent's turn, you can quick effect tribute it, and then target 3 of your banished light machine union monsters. Pretty much the only targets are always going to be A, B, and C, and summon them back, which allows you to go into Daigusto Emerald back on your turn, to then shuffle the ABC back into the deck, and then go into ABC again. Very strong combo. Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon is probably your strongest Cyber Dragon fusion. As when it's summoned, you can target spells or traps on the field up to the number of fusion monsters for its fusion summon, destroy them, and then once per turn you can send up to 2 light machine monsters from your deck to the graveyard, and then for each monster you send to the graveyard, it gains 1 additional attack during each battle phase. So this allows you to hit in 3 times for a grand total of 6,300 damage, while sending something like Electromagnetic Turtle, something like, in addition, at least something like Hers, or maybe a piece if you need some like a B, A, or C for the summon of ABC. Additionally, Cyber Twin Dragon serves pretty much the same purpose as the other ones, of just being able to summon out itself and hit for a lot. But this has basically the same exact summoning condition as Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon, as all the Cyber Dragon monsters are treated as Cyber Dragon while they're on the field or in the graveyard. And this represents more damage if you just want to hit in. Next is Cybersaurus, which is our target for Instant Fusion and specifically Ready Fusion. It's a normal monster, which is very important, as you can normal summon Dre, turn into 5, and then summon this as a normal 5, and then go into Nova, into Infinity, and Infinity pretty much wins the game when it's summoned. Panda the Dragon is just another target for Instant Fusion. You can also Fusion summon this sometimes, but I wouldn't recommend it. You can Instant Fusion into this, and during your end phase, it pops itself due to Instant Fusion, and then you can just target a card on the field, destroy it. Next, we have Infinity and Nova. Nova, of course, goes directly into Infinity, and then Infinity can target an attack. Once per turn, a target attack position monster on the field, attach it to it as material, and once per turn, when any card or effect is activated, you can quick effect attach material and destroy that card and negate it. Very strong. Dagastro Emerald is able to shuffle back materials that have been used from your graveyard into the deck to draw a card. Most specifically, this works well with ABC. To shuffle back ABC and then go back into ABC. Next, we have our Nightmares of Unicorn and Phoenix, just generic strong extra deck monsters that you can make. Unicorn, of course, being able to discard to spin a card, and Phoenix being able to discard to pop a spell size trap. Seeger comes up sometimes, not really as much as it comes out of TCG, but being able to just boost something, including itself to 40, being able to boost up to 42, or boost up another monster you control to just obscenely high attack to get over anything that your opponent has. Does come up. Linkuriboh and Salamangreat Almirage serve the same purpose of Almirage being able to link off your core, and hers being able to, and then Linkuriboh being off the link off hers, so that you can get these in the graveyard, get them into rotation. And then Union Carrier, which is by far our strongest extra deck monster in terms of links. And he takes any two monsters with the same type of attribute, and then you can target a face of monster you control and equip one monster from your hand or deck with the same original type or attribute as an equip spell that gives it 1000 attack. So this essentially allows you to foolish anything from your deck. It combos really well with A, B, and C, as if you're missing a piece, you can go into Union Carrier, and then equip a piece from the deck, and then go into ABC. One combo is Photon Sanctuary to summon Union Carrier, and then Union Hanger. This 2-card combo results in Union Carrier plus ABC, which is pretty much the end of the game. You can make this with basically any two monsters in your deck. You make this off of TGU and Sangan. You can make this off of normal summoning a Core, summoning a Veer, and just being able to just foolish anything to the graveyard as a link to is extremely strong. So, with that all out of the way, let's get into the replays. Welcome back to Deck Edit, and I hope you enjoyed seeing the mechanical mayhem this deck can ensue. So I'll run you through the pros and cons. First, the pros. 1. It's consistent. With multiple copies of your strong stars like Core and Union Hanger, there are very few times where you can't get the ball rolling on your first turn. 2. It has great OTK potential. In an open board state, something like Chimera or Overload Fusion just wins you the game on the spot. 3. It's fun. Being able to make a gazillion attack Cyber Dragon Fusion and bonk your opponent over the head is something not many other decks in Trinity can do. And the cons. 1. While it doesn't necessarily fold to back row, this deck struggles playing through multiple of the staple hand traps like Bottomless, Diomishus, and Lost Wind while trying to set up or go for lethal. 2. It's somewhat difficult. A lot of the time you have to set up in a way where you have to predict 3 turns ahead, while other top decks, I'm looking at you Flunderies, can just unga-bunga their way to a game win. 3. You have to spend a lot of resources to make big plays. While this is true for a lot of fusion decks, it is particularly true for this deck, as none of your bosses have any built-in protection, so sometimes you have to make risky plays that can just lose you the game on the spot. Overall, this is a unique and interesting deck that is very rewarding when played correctly, and the feeling of power you get when you punch your opponent in real life with your Sidra fusions just can't be beat. As always, I was your host Floppish, and you lot have a good one.